Welcome back, viewers. I'm Savera Kaur and you're watching the Savera. In what we can only call a rare and sharp rebuke, US President Donald Trump turned his criticism directly towards Russian President Vladimir Putin, following Russia's largest missile and drone assault on Kyiv in months. Trump condemned the attacks, calling them not necessary and very bad timing. Trump further escalated his disapproval with a direct message through social media to the Russian leader, posting, "Vladimir, stop." Take a look at what Trump had to say more.
Mr. President, this morning in a Truth Social post, you used the words, "Vladimir, stop." That seemed like a slightly different message, a personal message. What is your level of frustration with President Putin?
I didn't like it last night. I wasn't happy with it. And we're in the midst of talking peace, and missiles were fired. And I was not happy with it. That's what I meant, and that's, what it said.
I assume that's what you mean. Sorry.
Yeah.
If sanctions keep falling, will you consider additional sanctions toward Russia, or what will you do if President Putin...
I'll answer that question in a week. I want to see if we can have a deal. No reason to answer it now, but I won't be happy. Let me put it that way. Because things will happen.
Why are you not putting more pressure on Russia? I know a lot of your leads.
Putting a lot of pressure. You don't know what pressure I'm putting on Russia. They're dealing. You have no idea what pressure I'm putting on Russia. We're putting a lot of pressure.
Can you maybe tell us that?
We're putting a lot of pressure on Russia. And Russia knows that, and some people that are close to it know, or he wouldn't be talking right now. The Prime Minister understands that better than anybody. He wouldn't be talking right now. He's talking. And we're putting a lot of pressure. I think he wants to make a deal. We're going to find out very soon. But it takes two to tango. And you have to have Ukraine want to make a deal too. And they're being hit very hard. And I do believe they want to make a deal.
Mr. McTinley,
you've said that the Ukraine have to give some territory to win peace, among them Crimea. Do you stand by that? And I know that the former NATO General Secretary today had told you that he does not agree and he believes in territorial integrity of the Ukraine. How will you deal with that with your allies? And do you also want that Ukraine have to give?
Former Secretary General happens to be right here, so they can't put words in his mouth. He's been a great general, frankly. It was because that's what you are. Really, you're a general. But he's been a great Secretary General. We had a tremendous relationship, very successful. And I think he could speak for himself. He's right here.
But do you still agree that Ukraine have to give some territory away with peace?
Well, it depends what territory. They've been fighting. They've lost a lot of territory. We'll do the best we can, working with Ukraine. We'll do the best we can, but they lost a lot of territory. When you say Crimea, that was handed over during a president named Barack Hussein Obama. That had nothing to do with me, Crimea. That was 11 years ago with Obama. And they made a decision. There wasn't a bullet fire. There was no fighting. There was no anything. They just handed it over. Now they say, well, can you get it back? I think that's going to be a very difficult thing to do. That was given by Barack Obama when he was president, not by Donald Trump.
Thank you. This proposal that you put on the table is a 30-day ceasefire proposal. Your national security team presented it to both Ukraine and Russia. 2 months ago, Ukraine agreed to that ceasefire proposal immediately. Russia has not. And my question is Russia the obstacle to peace based upon that, just getting to that 30-day ceasefire?
I don't think so. I think that they both want peace right now. They're ready to do something. We'll see what happens. Complicated, very complicated. But I think they are both very much looking to make a deal. Marco, what would you say?
Well, first of all, what was put before our partners was options to discuss about things that it would take to end a war. This war is endable. Both sides just have to agree to it. We've shown them a pathway forward. We've discussed those ideas. It was a good meeting yesterday. There'll be good meetings over the weekend. We've shown them the finish line. We need both of them to say yes. But what happened last night with those missile strikes should remind everybody of why this war needs to end. It's horrible those missiles landed. What's even worse is there are today people that were alive yesterday that are not alive today because this war continues and the president wants to stop it. And everyone should be thanking the president for being a peacemaker and trying to save lives. That's what we're trying to do here It's not our war. We didn't start it, as you know. But we're trying to end the dying. We're trying to end the destruction. And we've shown the path forward. We can see the finish line, but both of them have to get there. We're going to do everything we can to help them get there, but they have to ultimately say yes.
But we are using a lot of pressure on both. If you think we're just in there because we're nice people, and we are nice people, but we're using a lot of pressure at the.
What concessions, Mr. President, and to your national security team, what concessions has Russia offered up thus far to get to the point where you're closer to peace?
Stopping the war. Stopping taking the whole country. Pretty big concession.
He also called for immediate diplomatic efforts to end the war, saying, "Let's get the peace deal done." This comes as Russia's latest offensive marked the deadliest airstrike on the Ukrainian capital since last summer, leaving behind widespread destruction and intensifying global concern. The attack, the biggest one on the capital since last summer, came hours after the Trump administration threatened to walk away from peace talks between Russia and Ukraine. The devastating human toll, pointing to reports of nearly 5,000 soldiers dying each week. And now the stress is on the urgent need to halt further escalation. Stay tuned for more updates on this developing story only at the Savera. Like, share and subscribe us through your social media handles and download the Savera app for real-time news.